The world took everything from him, so he takes everything from the world. This is a story of an action-adventure survival horror game called The Last of Us. The main story of this game is set in 2033, or 20 years after a pandemic started and makes this world very deadly. Before we go to the main story, we will go back to 2013, which was the year when the nightmare for everyone in this world started, after a parasite called cordyceps brain infection, or CBI, began to mutate. This parasite comes from the cordyceps fungus that can live inside human brain or its host, so people who are infected with this parasite, in several stages, will lose their brain function, making them become very aggressive. Furthermore, this parasite will take over the body of its host and turn it like a monster or zombie. In just a few months, this parasite has caused a world pandemic and has attacked more than half of the world's population, making the whole world chaotic, including America. Various efforts had been done by the American government to overcome this disaster, but none of them were successful. So the only solution chosen was for the military to take over the country and apply the war laws, where only people who are not infected will be able to live in the quarantine camp, and those who have been infected will be executed. Now we will see the beginning story of this game's main protagonist, named Joel. Joel is a single father who lives with his daughter Sarah in Austin, Texas. In the early scene, we can see how close Joel is with his daughter, like in the scene when Sarah gives Joel a watch as a birthday present. But then, that sweet moment had to be ruined by a mysterious attack that has come to the city of Austin. The attack began to turn people crazy. Sarah, Joel, and his brother Tommy tried to save themselves by leaving the city, but the town had already been swarmed by the infected, so they were overwhelmed. Joel and Sarah barely escaped the attack. Luckily, a soldier came to shoot the infected that are after them, but then, the soldier is ordered to execute Joel and Sarah as they are presumed to have been infected. Luckily, Tommy came to rescue them. Joel still survived the shot, but unfortunately, Sarah was still hit by the bullets, leaving Sarah dead in Joel's arms. After the prologue, the story immediately jumps to 20 years in the future, in the summer of 2033. At this point, the world's civilization has been destroyed by the pandemic. With the current state of the world, humans who are not infected lives in quarantine camps. There are also those who live in groups outside quarantine. Joel, who has survived the initial outbreak of the pandemic, has become a smuggler to supply groups that are living outside quarantine camp. Joel works with a woman named Tess who becomes his partner. Moments later, Joel and Tess are targeting a local arms dealer named Robert for betraying Tess by selling their supplies. In the end, the two managed to catch Robert, and then Robert revealed that the goods were sold to a resistance group called Fireflies. After killing Robert, the two then plan to head to the Fireflies' hideout. But conveniently, they meet the leader of Fireflies named Marlene in that place. She then said that she would return the item if Joel and Tess wanted to smuggle the package out of town. They agreed to it and went to the Fireflies' headquarters. In the headquarters, they found out that the package they were going to smuggle is a 14-year-old girl named Ellie, who is another main protagonist in this game. Marlene asked Joel and Tess to take Ellie to the Capitol building in downtown Boston in exchange for large supplies. On their way, they were confronted by soldiers on patrol. The soldier had to scan the three of them to see if they were infected. The scans from Joel and Tess were negative, but when the soldier scanned Ellie, she started getting nervous and ended up stabbing the soldier. Tess then uses this chance to shoot this soldier. Tess took the soldier's scanner and it turned out that Ellie's scan was positive of infection. At this point, Joel thought that they were set up by Fireflies. But then Ellie reveals that she has been infected for 3 weeks, and she hasn't turned into a zombie. Ellie also revealed that Marlene believed that she could be a solution to find a cure that had not been found until now. In here, Tess believes in the theory, but Joel is still skeptical about it. Even so, the two of them still agreed to take Ellie to her drop-off point. After fighting through the city swarmed with infected, and making it to the Capitol building, they find out that the Fireflies members who were supposed to pick up Ellie had been dead. Tess tries to find clues from the corpses about where they were going to take Ellie, while Joel is desperate and wants them to just go back home. But Tess insisted on taking Ellie to her destination, because it turned out that Tess had been infected during the fight before. Tess revealed that she also believes that this is the only way to stop this pandemic, so she insisted Joel to just take Ellie to her destination. A few moments later, they found out that they had been tracked by the soldiers. Tess sacrificed herself to hold off the soldiers, so that Joel and Ellie could escape. Before that, Tess gave a request to Joel to take Ellie to Joel's brother, who is a former Fireflies member. In Tommy's place, Joel might find a clue about where Ellie would be taken. Even though Joel looks very upset to have to leave Tess, in the end, thanks to Tess, Joel and Ellie manage to escape. Joel doesn't actually like Ellie at this point because he kind of thinks that Ellie is the reason that Tess is dead. But to respect Tess's request, Joel still takes Ellie with him. In making this effort, both of them have to survive the infected, hunters, and any other survivor groups. On their way, the two of them also met two brothers named Henry and Sam, who were part of a survivor group. They then worked together to fight the infected and hunters. Long story short, the four of them stayed in a radio tower, where they make plans and shared their stories. But on the next day, it was revealed that Sam had been infected during the encounter with the infected. When Ellie was attacked by Sam, Joel tried to shoot Sam, but Henry doesn't let him to. But in the end, Henry himself still had to shoot his own brother. Since he felt guilty, Henry then also ended his life. When fall came, Joel and Ellie finally found the base where Tommy lived. In this place, the two brothers who hasn't heard from each other in a long time had their reunion. Joel also just found out that Tommy is married to a woman named Maria. At that place, Joel told Tommy all about Ellie, and Joel intended to hand her over to him, since he thinks that Ellie would be safer with Tommy and his friends. But Ellie doesn't really like the idea of Joel leaving her alone. The two had a fight, but then Joel realized that Ellie trusted him better than anyone else. Tommy told Joel that they might find the lab for Ellie in University of Eastern Colorado. At this point, Joel has gotten very close to Ellie. They both had lost someone important to them, so they make sure to not leave each other. Soon after, Joel and Ellie started to make their way to the university, but when they arrived there, they didn't find anything, besides all the dead bodies of fireflies, with a recording that shows them information about St. Mary's Hospital. After that, they set their next destination to St. Mary Hospital, but when they head out of the university, they were attacked by some bandits. During the attack, Joel fell down hard and stabbed himself. Ellie had to shoot the rest of the bandits that are after them, but they barely escaped the place, and Joel was hurt really bad till he collapses while riding a horse. When winter came, Ellie had to survive alone and take care of Joel, since he hasn't recovered. When Ellie went hunting for food, she met these two men named David and James. After some talk, they had a deal to trade some of Ellie's food with their medicine. James then went back to their camp to get the medicine, while David and Ellie wait for him. A few moments later, they were attacked by the infected. They fought the infected together and both of them made it out alive. After that, David told Ellie a story that some weeks ago, David sent a few of his friends to look for supplies. But only few came back, and the rest were slaughtered by a crazy man, traveling with a little girl. That story made Ellie nervous. She pointed the gun at David. Soon after, James came back with the medicine. Ellie then took the medicine and left them. She came back to Joel as soon as possible to give the medicine to him. The next day, turns out that David and his group had been following Ellie. They know where Ellie and Joel were hiding, and unfortunately, Ellie was captured and brought back to their camp. At the place she was held, Ellie was surprised to find out that they are a cannibal group that are ready to butcher her and turn her into their meal. But then, Ellie told them that she has been infected. This gave Ellie a chance to attack them and escape from this place. On the other side, Joel has woken up. He started to look for Ellie since she was missing. Joel was able to interrogate some of the men from the group to tell him where they kept Ellie. The scene goes back to Ellie. She is still trying to escape the camp. In the end, Ellie had to survive from David that are trying to kill her. But in that fight, Ellie had a chance to brutally kill David before Joel found her and tried to calm her. Their relationship grew even closer. They realized how much they've gone through to save each other. When spring came, Joel and Ellie have arrived in Salt Lake City to find St. Mary Hospital. At this point, they have felt more like a father and daughter than ever. They could have actually stayed in Tommy's place, but they have come this far, and Joel believed that Ellie can actually be the key to end this pandemic. On the way, they had to fight many infected, but they still survive. They tunneled that when it was heavily flooded with water, making both of them drown. But luckily, fireflies found them. Joel woke up in St. Mary Hospital with Marlene sitting in there. Joel was worried about Ellie, but Marlene said that she's taken care of. Joel wanted to see her, but she's being prepped for surgery. It turns out that the cordyceps in Ellie's brain has mutated, making her immune. Which means, to make a vaccine, Ellie will not survive. Joel is definitely not cool with it, but Marlene tries to convince Joel about how important she is for the future of mankind. As we could probably guess, Joel killed the guard when he has a chance. He started to kill every guard that are on his way to find Ellie. Joel finally made it to the operation room just before the operation starts. Joel took Ellie out of the hospital while avoiding all the guards that are shooting at him. he was once again confronted by Marlene. She's still trying to convince him that Ellie's sacrifice is necessary. The scene then cuts to Joel driving a car, but then Ellie woke up from the back seat. Joel told Ellie that there are actually dozens of people that are immune, and they have stopped looking for a cure. While heading to Tommy's place, Ellie said that she felt bad that she has lost so many people because they were bitten and turned into zombies, while nothing happened to her. Ellie asked Joel to swear if anything he said about fireflies is true. Joel said that he'd swear, although he's actually lying. With Ellie believing what Joel said, the story of The Last of Us Part 1 has come to an end. I hope you enjoy the video. Leave a like and comment, follow my Instagram and TikTok on the link in the description box below, and don't forget to subscribe for more video game recap.